Hey there, Jenna here. Welcome to my channel where I take you on tours of tiny and creative homes. In this week's video, we meet one young couple who converted a school bus into a beautiful, nomadic tiny home. This tour features gorgeous walnut kitchen countertops, functional workspaces for working on the road, and they also planned the design with room to grow in case they decide to expand their family one day. With this space, we really thought ahead. We could use this as a bunk bed area, so that might transition in the future. If you guys like these kind of videos, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know every single time I publish a new tour. But right now, let's jump in and take a tour. You can grow up your whole life and have no idea what's in our country. I wanted to explore the US. I had never really been many places outside of Maryland or just the East Coast in general. On our first date, I told Hunter I want to go on a big cross-country road trip when I graduate college and camp in a tent, and he said, let's do it. So that's what we did.
Being able to have Carly see everything for the first time, doing it together was really, really special.
My dad had told us he was gonna give us family land to build a house on. Even after that trip, that was still the plan. We were like, can't wait to get home and start building a house. We were looking at shipping container houses or maybe like a little pole barn, and we wanted it to be off grid. But the longer we were planning that, we just missed traveling and being on the road. We bought a 30-foot tow-behind camper. We left in the camper to travel. That's when we started boondocking, and once we got a taste of that, we were like, we don't want to build a house.
We started doing more research about upgrading from the camper, getting something a little bit bigger, but having something that we could drive and really live in full time. That's what brought us to the bus. Start to finish construction of the bus, took us 9 months. So much of the things we've learned have been from the camper and the tent trips that we took before we converted the bus. Having that experience definitely changed how we would design the bus.
Even us with the 2 dogs, we're like, we could have half the size of a bus, but we didn't want to build a short bus and then have to build a bigger bus. So really the plan is just to grow into it eventually and have a family, and we didn't want to have to do 2 separate builds to do that. So we wanted to just start out with what we thought was the right size. Yep. And not have to redo a whole nother build when things change.
Our bus is a 2001 Thomas. It's 36 feet long. We have the 3126 Caterpillar engine back with an Allison transmission. With the 3126 Caterpillar engine, we get decent mileage for our weight. We get between 8 and 10 miles per gallon. Our departure angle with the back bumper is built pretty high, so we don't have to worry about scraping going in and out of parking lots or trailheads. We were really lucky to find a bus that already had understorage built in. We have 2 bays on this side and 1 bay on the other side. This side we have extra tools, spare parts. On the other side we have our generator and our air conditioning unit. On the roof, to house the solar panels, we built an aluminum rack. Only thing we would change is go a little bit bigger on the aluminum. We only have 1-inch square tubing, so it flexes a little bit with the wind and when we walk on top of it. Definitely would have gone a little bit bigger, like 2-inch. On the back of our bus, we built this deck out of steel and composite decking to hold our dirt bike. We have a 2019 Yamaha WR250R. We knew we wanted a couple different modes of transportation in case something happened to the bus or if we didn't want to drive the bus everywhere we were going. The bike has been great. I've ridden pretty much my whole life. Carly actually had never ridden a motorcycle before. She went and took her classes and got her motorcycle license, and now both of us can ride it individually or together. On the roof of our bus, we have 4 solar panels. They total out to just over 1,300 watts in total. We really wanted a big solar bank so we could run our air conditioning for the dogs. We also put a small deck here just so we could get up and walk past them to clean the panels. Up on the back of the roof on our bus, we have our internet antenna. For our internet, we have an InstiConnect. You just use a SIM card and pump it in there, and then you can have internet pretty much everywhere you want to go. So we've been on the road for about 6 months, and for that time we've only had the bus and the dirt bike. For the longest time we were just taking the dirt bike, and Carly and I would ride together, but then we'd have to leave the dogs behind. So that made us decide to get a 2000 Jeep Cherokee. It's on 35-inch tires. It can go pretty much anywhere we want to go. Our plan is to flat tow it behind the bus here soon, and it'll be really nice having that extra mode of transportation. We upgraded all of our bus lights to LED. For our headlights, we went with the JW speaker lights. They're super bright on low and high beam, and they also have a grid pattern integrated. It melts the snow or ice in inclement weather. We really wanted our door to open like a traditional house door. We cut the hinges off the left side and bolted both panels together using stainless. Keeping the traditional bus door was really important to us. Having the glass top and bottom, it's really nice when driving. You can see where the curb is next to you, and that way you know if you're getting too close.
Welcome to the inside of our home. When we were thinking about the design, we wanted it to be really warm, and we feel like it's really welcoming and comfy. With the layout, a lot of it came from our experience in the camper. So we had this camper, it had overhead cabinets throughout, bright LEDs that were all up in the ceiling. They're really harsh on our eyes with the lower ceiling height, so we wanted indirect lighting in here. We have it back here behind our wire coverings and underneath our cabinets, and it's turned out really well, and it feels really cozy where it's not too bright. Over here we have our bar style table. We decided that we didn't want a dinette, which we had experienced in our camper. It serves more than one purpose. We don't only eat our meals here, but I do a lot of video editing here for our YouTube channel. Hunter will sit here and draw out schematics for electronic builds. And we also have our dog food storage underneath, and we use our seats here to feed our dogs as little platforms. So it just serves many purposes, and it also makes it even more open in here. Since we kept almost all of the windows in our bus, we really wanted to insulate it really well with whatever curtains we chose. So we have Reflectix on the inside to insulate, and then we cut fabric to size. We already had the Reflectix for the curtains, so we put it up underneath of the cedar, and I think it worked out really well. The more insulation, the better. In the build, we ended up using spray foam, Reflectix, wool, and foam board. We wanted to insulate it as much as possible. We wanted to be able to go anywhere we wanted, whether it was really cold or really warm. So insulation was definitely a priority. Over here on the other side of our kitchen, we wanted a lot of counter space. It makes it really easy cooking meals and even having groups of people in here with us. Our countertops are pretty much our favorite thing in our entire bus. Hunter and I both were like, we need to have live edge countertops. It was just a priority, and we love how they look. Our friend John Kidd from the Renaissance Mill, he milled them, sanded them, epoxied them, and did everything for us. This tree is black walnut, and it was actually local to where we were doing the bus build, which is really cool. We went back and forth for a while about whether we wanted to build our own cabinets or not, and we decided that the easiest thing for us to do was just to buy them pre-done from Lowe's. We were thinking that the white would be a nice contrast to really make the live edge stand out. We installed RV drawer catches on them, and so far they've been great even with really heavy pots and pans in the bus making turns. They have never opened, so that's been awesome. We have an Everchill 12-volt fridge. It has felt like so much space, like double the space compared to our camper. And the reason we like having this much space is because when we're boondocking and staying in a place for 2 weeks, it's nice to go to the grocery store, stock up the fridge full for 2 weeks and not have to move because of food. Over here we have our oven. It is a Greystone propane range and oven. It has 3 burners, and most of the time I'm just using 2. When you look at an oven like this and you think it's so much smaller than a household size oven, it's really the perfect amount of space. So over here we have a lot of storage. The first 2 drawers are our pantry. So that's where we keep a lot of our dry food. Down here we have a cleaning drawer and bathroom supplies drawer. And then back here for our clothes, Hunter has the first 2 drawers as his closet, and I have the bottom 2 drawers as my closet. With this space, we really thought ahead. We have enough space under our couches and in our kitchen cabinets that we could use this as a bunk bed area, so that might transition in the future. Everyone that builds a bus knows that it's hard to work around wheel wells and you have to kind of plan around them. So our toilet is on top of one of the wheel wells. That worked out really well. We have plenty of space above. We went with a separate toilet and we absolutely love it. It is amazing to not have to dump a black water tank. We used Black River Rock as the floor in our shower, and we went through 3 different things trying to figure out what we were going to do with the walls. First, we were looking at tile, and we actually bought a bunch of tile, and then we were just a little worried about all the movement with driving the bus. After that, we got vinyl tile, and it just didn't seem to match the rest of the stuff. So then we went to the corrugated metal, which was really inexpensive, and it's turned out great. We're really happy with it. For the back of our bus, the priority was having a queen-size bed, so that's what we put back here first thing. Underneath we have our water tanks and also all the electronics that Hunter did.
All of our components are Victron, and we have a 3,000 watt inverter, solar controllers, and 5 Battleborn batteries.
We really wanted a lot of natural light to come in the bedroom when we would open up the curtains when we wake up in the morning. So we took our emergency exits and made a skylight that's nearby, and we also kept all the windows around the bed so that we can roll up the curtains and let the light in. And then luckily we just happened to have a bus that had windows where the school bus sign was. That isn't always the case, but ours did, so we really wanted to keep those because we really liked how they looked. When people that live differently are like, you're crazy, what are you doing? Like, this isn't the way to live your life. You shouldn't let that affect you, because there are plenty of people out here living this way, and we all feel the opposite, where like, if only everyone else knew.
We're able to go wherever we want to go, whenever we want to be there, and there's nothing holding us back.
Thanks for watching this week's video. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you soon with another tiny or creative home tour.